and I pray every day. I pray, like when I say I pray, I don't get on my knees and do this.
Right, right.
Prayer is a conversation. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm doing.
Okay, real quick, hey, what's up, y'all? I'm with Dan Fraga. Did I say your last name right?
Fraga. It sounds
Fraga.
like Ray Gun or Sega.
Yeah. I'm here, and
What's happening, y'all? How are you? I'm wearing my my Image comic shirt. They got the order wrong though. Maybe in a popularity contest, this might be the right order, but the idea came from this man, and this man, and this man, so they should be third. But
That's
yeah,
right.
man, you had.
yeah, you were sharing like your
Yeah,
the journey, your start,
so
because
I met. Are you still recording?
yeah.
Okay, good. So I met Rob Liefeld in at a comic convention up in San Francisco in 1989. So I was 16 years old. I had this little TV show, kind of like Wayne's World, public access. You know, it only went out to like the local area.
Right.
But I had this live show called Comic Review for You. And if you go on YouTube and search for Flyco Joe and my last name, there's like 3 episodes that survived out of the 150. But nonetheless, I did a
3 episodes at 150.
yeah, I'll tell you why. I was recording them on VHS tapes, and my mother was a huge All My Children fan. So all of my episodes have All My Children recorded over them.
Okay, yeah.
You know,
Right,
because
right.
back in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, VHSs were premium, and like my mom would be like, "Oh, here's a tape."
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember those.
So the only ones that survived were because of Joe, who happens to be the guy who created Free Comic Book Day, by the way. A guy
really?
named Joe Field. Yeah, he created Free Comic Book Day at the store I used to shop at, a place called Flying Colors. He got the idea because there was a Baskin Robbins next door, and they had free scoop day.
Yeah.
And he was seeing just people going crazy, and he said, "Well, everybody loves ice cream, and everybody should love comic books, so let's try this thing out." So he invented
Right,
that. So
right. And this was in California as well.
California, yeah, up by San Francisco in a city called Concord. So anyway, he's the reason I still have 3 episodes, because I had done a couple featuring his shop and some other things. So you can see them. I have hair. I'm a kid. You know, I'm like 15, 16 years old. Anyhow, I did a show about portfolio reviews. You know, like you know, just to show people what a portfolio review is like. And my intention was to go to talk to Eric Larson. Okay, Rob Liefeld was a guy I had heard of and I was a fan of, but he hadn't even done New Mutants yet. Okay, so when I met Rob, he had got the New Mutants job.
And what year was this? This was the
November of '89.
Yeah, I knew it was the 80s.
Yeah, it was
because
89.
Bob broke out
Yeah,
in
so
like 90. Yeah.
so I ended up buying this. Well, I didn't buy it. My friend Mike, who was with me, bought a sketch from Rob, kind of like what's in my magical mystery box. And on the back of it had all of Rob's, like his address, his fax number, his phone number, all this stuff. I thought that his portfolio review was so insightful and actionable that I wanted to follow up with him. So I cold called him. At first he was like, "How'd you get my number?" And, I explained to him, "Look, you sold a sketch that had all your info on it, you know, and I also saw you have a fax. Would you mind if I send you my artwork as I progress and you give me advice on how to fix it?" And you know, so he did that. He did that 89, 90, 91. Along the way, I met his studio mate Marat, who he and I became friends. In San Diego Comic-Con of 91, it was the first time it was at the big center. I saw Marat and Rob, came up to them. This is when I just graduated high school. I'm like, "Yo guys, what's up? You know, I'm here. I'm trying to get a job with DC or Marvel, etc." And they're like, "Yo, we got this thing popping. It's like Eric Larson and Todd McFarlane are going to do it, and we're going to do our own thing." They hadn't decided to leave yet, right? They just said we're going to do our own thing.
Right.
And then in December of that year, they said, "Hey, we're actually doing this big time." We pulled in some other guys, and if you're interested in relocating, you can come on down and join this party. You know, basically. And so I did. I went down in February of '92 to kind of like do some recon because I didn't know where I was going.
Right.
Where am I gonna live? What's my situation? So I went down in February. That's when CNN had come to the studio and had announced Image Comics. So if you go on YouTube, you can look at the CNN announcement. Seven artists from Marvel have left to form their own company. You know, like this sort of big announcement.
I remember that.
I was there. I was sitting on a beanbag. You can see me sitting on a beanbag. Like I was there day one. I was there before day one, right? So that's how I started, and then did some Youngblood Zero, Bloodstrike, Supreme, Kid Supreme, Berserkers, my own book Black Flag, and then worked for Marvel a bit. Left comics in 2003. Started working in entertainment field doing storyboards. So I was working on like Transporter 2. I was doing storyboards for them. Eventually, right around 2010, I got the wonderful opportunity to start directing animation. So I started directing animation on a show for MTV called Hard Times with R.J. Berger. So I did these little 1-minute segments. That led to me getting a job on a show called The Ricky Gervais Show, where I directed 2 seasons of that. And that's thanks to somebody named Marge Dean. Marge, when she left and went over to Mattel, I went with her. She brought me over with her to help Mattel set up what they now call Mattel Creations, which is basically creating context for play. Like if you have, like, let's say a rock, right? And they did this in the 70s, by the way, but let's say you have a rock. How are you supposed to play with that rock, right? Like, you don't tell the kid. My job was not to tell the kid, but to inspire the kid by creating a story about the rock and where the rock came from and why the kid would want the rock. So suddenly now the kid goes, I need that rock.
Right.
I want to play what I just saw. So we were making cartoons and things like that for toys. And then after Mattel, I came here to Georgia, and I started working on television shows like Doom Patrol, Stargirl, Legacies, other things, and that led to some other things. I have a movie that I worked on that came out yesterday. It's called One Spoonful of Chocolate, directed by RZA from the Wu-Tang. So I worked with RZA on that. That was a huge dream come true. I also directed 2 seasons of Ariel. So
the takeoff from you started, because you officially started in Image, right?
Yes.
And that just took you off.
That set the path. I mean, here's the thing. I would never say that it was a straight line from A to B. You know, there's have you ever seen the meme about success? Everybody thinks it's this line, but in reality it's the same. It's really like highs and lows, and like, did I make a mistake trying to do this as a job? You know, it's not. And the other thing that I've learned, which has been like just an excellent blessing, is I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of people like the RZA or other people that maybe a portion of the world will consider famous or superstars, and then you find out, oh man, they're superhuman, and this person is not as cool as I thought, or this person's way cooler, or you know,
they're still human. They're still just people.
But at the end of the day, you find out that they're people. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's been really great, especially now. Like I was telling you before we were recording. I'm 52. I'll be 53 next month, and it's been awesome.
So, how did you feel with when you first put out that comic book? Because I know it's sold crazy.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, the first time I saw my work saw print in a comic book was in Brigade Volume 2, Number 2. It was a pinup in the back, and I had drawn that in 1992. It was inked by a guy named Danny Mickey. First time I had a comic, just one thing in print, I couldn't believe it. You know?
Right.
When I was a kid, I had my own strip in the local paper. Like, I did this character called The Adventurer, and it was a daily strip that was in the town paper, and that felt good.
Yeah.
But to know that this thing was all over the world was kind of like, oh, this is so neat, you know.
Yeah.
And then the first.
And you were only 18
I
about
was
that
18.
time. Oh, yeah.
I was 18, 19. Yeah, I turned 19 in June of that year. Yeah.
Wow.
And by the time I was 19 years old when Bloodstrike 1 came out, that sold 1 million copies. That was wild. Because the first signing I ever did on my own, like not with the crew, because we had done this thing called the Extreme Tour, and we were so new, nobody knew who we were, but we were on the roster. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we did this tour, and we were going along with Liefeld, and like it was a really big thing. But the first one I did solo was in New Jersey, and it was right after Bloodstrike came out, and that was crazy. Like imagine like a line, you know, down the block, just because they want you to sign this new comic book. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you're, like I said, I was 19. I'm like, man, this is nuts.
How did the San Diego Comic Cons change from when you first went to it and then when you started
that's a
getting
great question.
the?
So my first San Diego Comic Con was 1989. And it was in the old convention center in downtown, and I met Jack Kirby there, met a bunch of different artists there, took a bunch of pictures. It was very much a comic book show, a lot along the lines of like a Heroes or SE Comic Con, you know, like just really focused on comics. Then in '91, when they had moved to the new center, they think of it like an alphabet, A, B, C, D, E. Like, I think right Hall H or whatever is like, oh, that's where stuff is now, like a big stuff. H, I, J, K, like it goes to K.
Right.
That first year it was A, B, and a little part of C. That was the con. Okay? But it still felt huge.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you walk in there and like, you know, because the ceiling has a lot to do with it too, you know.
I'm actually from San Diego, so
okay.
and I was going to the Comic Con.
Oh yeah,
that's why I know exactly what you're talking.
Yeah. So you walk in, and also now we can talk esoterically. Gaslamp was totally different. They weren't on about like they weren't on to that this big thing was coming. So it was like we were bringing, like we being comic book fans, we're bringing business to town. And like it was great, and like you could get into places, you could get a hotel room. We used to just roll up to the Marriott, check in, get our room, go to the show. Now it's like we're sold out for 2 years, you know. And, oh, you want to eat dinner here? You better make a reservation way before. Like it wasn't like that.
Right. And do they give y'all credit for that influx of more business and everything?
No, not at all. No more than they give somebody who brings a concert to town or a baseball game or whatever, a sewing convention. You know?
Right. I mean, but y'all like the pioneers of it, like set it off. You know.
We did. I mean, it helped. It definitely helped with the economy. I know when Comic-Con was even talking about moving, like the city freaked out because it's like. I can't quantify it with an exact number, but I know it's like, you know how retailers have Christmas to look forward to?
Yeah.
That's like,
definitely.
San Diego's like Christmas. You know what I mean? For the retailers and restaurateurs and stuff.
And why did you decide to not stay in California or Southern California and you decided to move out here to Georgia?
That was all God. I left Mattel. My wife had gotten pregnant. The house we were living in, the guy who owned it ended up giving it to his son as a wedding gift. So we had like no place to live yet. Pregnant wife, and I didn't have a gig. And then I got a call from my friend about this show called Legacies, and it's shooting out here. And I had designed a monster for the show. And she asked me, do you still storyboard? I said, yeah. And she says, it's too bad you don't live out here in Georgia because you'd be cleaning it up. You'd be working all the time. And I said, word? Yeah, so we packed up the 3 kids, pregnant wife, dogs, cats, bird, mother-in-law, 18-wheeler, drove all the way from California to Alpharetta is where we first moved.
Right.
Don't really care for Alpharetta. Nope, sorry Alpharetta, but Macon.
I started there too.
I love Macon, man. Macon is more my speed. I grew up in a smaller town up in Northern California, so Macon really makes me feel like a kid.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
People brag on me. I was born around the city. Like, why you live there? I was like, I mean, that's where I was born, and it's not. Don't believe everything you see on TV.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
that stuff.
I love Macon.
And how did your from beginning? And I'm pretty sure they're good now. Your family, from your parents to the family you built, how did they were total 100% in support of your
No.
career choice?
No, my dad wanted me to go into the Navy, which I almost did. I know I see you got that. Dude, check this out. You're going to like this story. So I was about to go, I was supposed to go to MEPS and do the medical and swear in on a Wednesday because I at a certain point, like I was telling you about the ups and downs, I saw Rob and Marat in July. They were hyping me up about this thing. DC kept telling me, you're almost good enough, you're almost good enough. I had sent, no joke, probably like 10 samples, like over and over and over, and they're like, almost. And when you're a kid, that feels agonizing.
Yeah.
So I went down to the recruitment center, I took the aptitude test, was supposed to go to MEPS on that Wednesday. To go say hello, I swear, and now I'm property of the government, etc.
Right.
Monday, Rob Liefeld says that if you're willing to relocate, and I called up the recruiter and I said, am I like on the line to be there Wednesday? He said, nah man, you haven't signed anything. I said, I will not be there. I know that's why I have it. Okay, see, he asked the magical mystery box. Okay, the way I explain it to people, I'm going to show you what's inside it, okay, and then I'm going to show you why I call it the magical mystery box. So what's inside the magical mystery box is sketches, and basically what I tell people is this is like, when you see Michael Jordan or somebody out playing, or like a performer performing, we see this excellence, right? But what we don't see is we don't see all the blood, sweat, and tears of how many free throws and all of that rehearsal, all of that to make the thing look like magic. These are my free throws. These are all my practices to make sure that whatever I do, I'm doing it good. This is how I stay in line. So why is it a magical mystery box? Is that usually, say something, I don't know if there's a full figure in here, but a kid pulled a full figure once. If you see these prices right here, like this right here, even though it's not done, that's probably about a $200 value, right? But because of the magical mystery box, it's a $20 pull. You don't get to look. You go like this.
So when I want it.
Yeah. And you go like this. Well, see if you remember it. You go like this.
It's
And
like
yeah,
cards.
you go like this, and you go like like trading cards. I got the idea at a convention last month. I was sitting across. Because I usually just sell my sketches, and they range anywhere from like 20 to a couple $100.
When you take cash or
I take everything, yeah.
Let me close this interview out,
yeah.
and then because I do know you're busy and everything.
Yeah.
So, would you like to share anything about your future endeavors, and what would you like to share with the people and upcoming people that's trying to get in the industry?
Well, I say if you want to get into the industry, the best thing you can do, because now is the right time, is do it on your own. It's really not terribly difficult. Even a pencil, paper, pen doesn't cost much. Even if you don't have a scanner, you can go down to a Staples or whatever to scan your work. Let's say you have an iPad. You can create an entire comic book start to finish on an iPad.
Right.
Now, building a fan base, that's all new too. The days of going to conventions and word of mouth are there, but really it's about like presence. People buy into the person now. A good book is a good book, absolutely. But what I'm saying is, if you want people to know the unknown, you got to go make yourself known.
That's right. That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Right. And one last question: how was your relationship today with the Image Comics founders, especially Rob Liefeld?
Rob and I are tight now. We had a bit of, I was telling you about the roller coasters. There was about 15 years he and I didn't talk. We had a bit of I guess the word is kerfuffle. We had a bit of a kerfuffle there for a while, and time heals all things, and we both humbly apologize to one another, and we're friends again.
Would you say is you guys, because you're getting older now, you're more mature and seeing the reality of how business is and everything? Would it be money?
No, see, for me, I've never really been about money, and anytime I have been about money, it doesn't go right. The times it goes right is when I'm just doing it because I love it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
And what I do now is I try to protect that as much as I can. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, like, I had somebody hit me up asking me, hey man, if I send you such and such money, will you draw, a bust of my character so I can put it in the back of my book, kind of like a pinup? And I said, listen, man, send me your character first, because if I get excited by it, I'll do it. But if I go, hey, nah, man.
Right.
Money isn't the factor. It's whether or not, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's not coming from a place of a guy with money, because I don't have money. I'm coming from a place of, like you said, getting old enough, having kids. One of the wonderful things is about getting older is context. You sort of start seeing the picture bigger. You start seeing inner relationships, and you start focusing on things that actually matter.
Right.
And you have to remove your ego from that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the things that matter to me is that I'm true to the Lord above, I'm giving my best effort, and that I'm having fun.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I appreciate you giving me this time.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Yes, and how can people find you?
Oh man, thank you. You can find me on YouTube. I have 3 separate channels. I have one called Fraga Boom, another one called Couch Doodles, and a new one called Comics Galactus TV. And you can find me on Instagram under Couch Doodles. So if you shoot that and somebody freeze frames that QR code, that'll send them off to the I think the YouTube channel.
Okay.
All right, appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve.
All right, thanks.